happening YouTube? We are in day 2 of my training block. It's the second Ironman 70.3 and Ironman prep training block for Ironman Texas and Ironman Oceanside this April 2024. We're heading to the track right now. It's almost tropical temperatures here, so we are under +degrees, so 4 Celsius, but there's still some ice somewhere, so still not quite ready for outdoor track and fast outdoor running, but we're getting close. And especially early March, important to ride outside, some TT, riding outside obviously super essential. Yeah, now on the track we got 5 times 5 minutes. It's an hour run, hour 10 max, more like an hour I assume. 5 times 5 minutes, a threshold pace, threshold effort, especially from the run test. I saw a lot. Cardiac output was a big limiter. I did a little bit of a blog post on that on Instagram if you want to have a look. Get in and let's get this session in the bank. So we're going to be doing the pre-warm-up as always, just opening joints a little bit, muscles as well, activating everything. Just takes a few minutes, but really make a big difference. And then today, otherwise the difference is a bit, either I run in the carbon shoes, then obviously times, speeds are quicker, which don't matter in training at all, except for confidence, but not really. But the orthopedic load is lower, so especially on a hard track here indoors, it's quite a bit lower. But the other benefit of these shoes would be, one big part is cardiac output, so breathing and all that heart and lung side is of course working harder or the same at slower paces. It's a bit different. I'll see how I feel, how muscle wise I'm doing, but yeah, I think orthopedically I've been pretty fine, but also I have to make sure that I stay fine in that department, so yeah. One part also on race specific phase is of course nutrition. So now I got first time in the session, not just gels but also the liquids. So Morton, 80 grams of carbs, 500 milligrams of sodium in there. That'll definitely be enough for this session. So practicing with that, because in a marathon definitely gonna hit 80 grams an hour on the run, on the bike 120, maybe more if I can. On the run 80, I think as a baseline is good for now, unless you've done several Ironmans at that, then you can up it. But 80, and if you feel like you can do more, you can always add Coke, which is a really good carb and easy, plus a bit of caffeine, and always works. So if I feel I can do in the race more than 80, I think, yeah, I'm gonna be using a bit of Coke. So I got a 20-minute warm-up with a few strides in there after 15 minutes, very nice and warm, just opening body. Especially, you know, I can feel my hamstrings a bit sore. Yesterday, like a run test uphill, so hamstring calves a little bit worked. So I'm gonna stretch them a bit, that they're open. Especially with fast running, I feel it's super essential that, you know, you don't pull a hamstring or anything like that, or it doesn't get overloaded more than it should. So that's really key. And yeah, little warm up. And then otherwise, I'm gonna do my best to film. But you know how it is. There's a one-man show at this point, so unless my wife can film, it's unfortunately going to be a bit less footage during action kind of stuff, but I'm going to do my best and take you along anyways. I'll definitely change the shoes. It's a mix of both. On the one hand, it's the shoes, I believe, because they did something to an incredible shoe. I mean, it was like invincible before. 1 and 2, amazing shoe. 3, unfortunately, not remotely the same. If some of you guys tested it, they say it's still bouncy and all, but I don't find it nearly as soft or anything. So yeah, and you have heel slippage. I found a bit of a trick to make it tighter, but still not ideal. But also this track is basically pure concrete. It looks like it's soft, but it's actually just concrete with a carpet. But not complaining, super happy that I can run here. Amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna change to the Vaporflies. which I'm going to be racing in for the 70.3 anyways. And for the full Texas, I'm going to be using the Alpha Flies. Going to do my best to get my hands on the Alpha Fly 3s. When they sell on the 4th of April, there's a new sale coming with a yellow pair, unfortunately. Yellow, not this beautiful white I had before. But yeah, I'm gonna get those, order them to the US, and then have a few runs in them still, but fairly confident that they will work. If not, I'll use the Alpha Flies, Vapor Flies. If any of you guys have other recommendations for good shoes in the €150 brackets for training, who are like a lot of cushioning but also a little bit dynamic, so not like spongy but like mainly for cushioning a lot. If any recommendations from other brands, anything Adidas or something, but in the 150, 160, 70 euro bracket, any recommendations, drop them in the comments. Happy to learn more. But they gotta be in the range from the drop, in the range of 8-9 millimeters, somewhere there. So if it's in a 4 millimeter range drop, then I'm out. Alrighty, we got that warm up done. Now I'm going into the 5 times 5 minutes, 2 minutes easy jog in between. I'm gonna check in a bit in the 2 minutes, some of them. If I'm not out of breath in those, I failed the session. Key is get the breathing side really working, and of course also some good leg turnover. That's a good one. Breathing working nicely. Legs good. I fueled well yesterday. My calves, you can tell, that's pretty good. Touch under 320 pace, 318. Feels good. Have to go through cadence. Feel like a strength guy like me. You can get a lot of bang for your buck through cadence in all sports. Do the same in swim. Anyways, let's get back to it. Round 2. Rep 2 done. Really nice. Again, 320 pace. Feels good. Breathing picking up. Exactly what I want. Will be beautiful adaptations from this. So it's gonna help a lot. I can just tell I'm not so good at it, which is where you train. You want to do the things you're not good at, so you get better once you're racing. Rep 3. 3 done. I think 3. Breathing is really coming alive now. I can tell. I can tell that like inefficiencies, for example legs and cadence, they're still good, but I can tell breathing wise like I'm getting inefficient. You can tell your breathing muscles, your breathing system is not, you know, accustomed to this. So again, if you only do aerobic stuff like I did for years, yeah, no shit, you're gonna become bad at breathing heavy, right? Alone for that department, forget legs and speed. Like if your body isn't efficient at breathing hard, like for 70.3 and stuff, forget it. I mean, even for Ironman, you're gonna be breathing hard. So yeah, gotta practice. Done 5 times 5. Last 5 minutes really challenged on the cardio side especially, which is great. I can feel like this is exactly stimulus I need. Leg-wise, challenging, but not like, you know, the limiting factor. And yeah, just focus on keeping cadence up. And then I hit this 320 pace, which is by accident really nice to calculate. So you have 40 seconds per 200. So you always know if you're on track. So that's really good. Happy with this, definitely. And yeah, now some easy jogging, and then later we have a hard ride still, but a little rest in between. So today I did a 5.5k in the morning, a swim with some strength reps, and in total 10 times 200 band only, like strength and other stuff, distance per stroke work. So working with, on the one hand, getting stroke rate up with the band only, and then working on keeping the stroke long, distance per stroke with the paddles, stuff like that. And then tonight we got another 2-hour ride with another 5 times 5 minutes, but over threshold. So kind of Vo2max high end range. There I got a lot of nice data, what I gotta do. So see you later. Alright, it's 7:30 now in the evening, getting a bit tired of course, third session as well, but if it was easy everybody would do it. So So here we have once 100 grams of carbs and another 100 grams to our right with 5 times 5 minutes over threshold. So the main thing is, again, as I said, cardiac output is a big one. So really keeping it simple, really getting out of breath well, and of course highest possible power. But yeah, since I'm not so good at that, that's why I train that. So probably 5 times 5 minutes, around the 400 mark. Nothing insane in terms of power, but I think my breathing will work really nicely. And yeah, let's get that in. And a 2 minutes rest on those. Not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna pump them out. So warm up is done, 20 minutes with 2 time, just like easy, and 2 minutes tempo at 350 watts. And now doing the first 5 minutes. Yeah, starting a bit controlled, so maybe like 380, 90 watts, let's see. And then 2 minutes easy and a few more reps. See what the legs got, but they feel pretty good, although calves were a bit sore from the run. But otherwise, let's get into it. Alright, 25 minutes over threshold done. I did 3 at 380, 90, 80, and then I started to feel that the legs kind of, yeah, not sure if I could do 5 minutes, so I went down to threshold, 350, 60, and the breathing still was up. I wrote, like I said, I wrote the details about it, about cardiac output, why I need that on Instagram for those interested in physiology. But in the past I would have been like, I dropped down in watts. But you know, when it comes to breathing and heart rate, it's still up there. And this is the main limiter for me. So although I feel like my legs are kind of giving in, it's actually not the legs lacking oxygen, because we measured that. The muscle oxygenation of my legs is good. It's good, so it's not that. So it's not peripheral, the limiter, it's central. So central limiter. What we work on now is cardiac output. Get that from 5.5 liters to 5.9. That will take me maximum 12 months. And then my LT1 will go from 300 watts to 350 at 85 kilos. That's an Ironman pace and 4.1 watts per kilogram. And then I'm in the game on the bike when it comes to world class with good aerodynamics. And yeah, that's just the start. I don't care what anybody else does. I'm gonna max out what I can do. But happy with this session, happy I did it. Tough day today, tomorrow easier. Although it's a longer aerobic swim and a 90-minute aerobic ride, but otherwise lots of food and rest. I'm gonna be spinning another hour, so I have the 2 hours total. Just gonna be doing easy, 220 to 40 watts. Fat burning is still up there at that watts, which I know now from the lab, so it's good. And yeah, then dinner, recovering. Thanks for checking in. If you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment below. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.